He stole over $200 million from working Americans, served less time than most people spend on a road trip. Then Hollywood made him a legend, and he made $100 million more, selling the story of how he did it. His name is Jordan Belfort, and somehow you probably still kind of like him. Today I'm going to show you exactly how that happened, and why it should terrify you. Bayside, Queens, 1962. Not exactly the birthplace of Wall Street legends. It's a working-class neighborhood where the ambition ceiling is low and the dreams are practical. But Jordan Belfort wasn't built for practical. At 16 years old, while other kids were begging for car keys, Jordan was running a street hustle selling Italian ices. By summer's end, $20,000 in his pocket. He enrolled in dental school. First day, the dean delivered a speech. If you're here to get rich, you're in the wrong profession. Jordan stood up, nodded, and walked straight out the door. He wasn't looking for a career. He was looking for a weapon. Next came meat. Door-to-door USDA Prime cuts out of the back of a station wagon. No storage, no trucks, just Jordan, a cooler, and a mouth that never stopped moving. $100,000 a month in sales. Then it collapsed. Bad invoices, spoiled seafood, bankrupt before 25. But in the wreckage, Jordan discovered something that would change everything. The product doesn't matter. I can sell anything. Steaks, stocks, stories, himself. This is when the real Jordan Belfort was born. He landed on Wall Street at L.F. Rothschild in the mid-80s. Suits, commissions, cocaine in the bathroom, classic era. He learned how money moved, how brokers talked, how the pitch was everything. Then October 1987 happened. Black Monday, the worst single-day stock market crash in history. Jordan lost his job. Most people lost hope. Jordan, he found penny stocks. Pink sheet garbage. Companies barely worth the paper they were printed on. But the commission structure? 50%. Same pitch. 10 times the reward. And absolutely zero regulation. Jordan and his partner, Danny Porish, opened Stratton, Oakmont. The name sounds like a 200-year-old institution. White marble, mahogany desks, legacy wealth. Reality? A strip mall boiler room in Long Island with flickering fluorescent lights. The recruits? Not analysts, not licensed brokers. Bartenders, dropouts, neighborhood guys with nothing to lose. Jordan didn't want education. He wanted hunger. He built a system called straight-line persuasion. A psychological machine designed to move a stranger from hello to here's my life savings without a single moment of doubt. And it worked. One call, $4,000 closed. A guy in Nebraska who didn't understand the company but understood the dream Jordan was selling. Because that's the real product at Stratton, Oakmont. Not stocks. Hope. By the early 90s, Stratton was a carnival. Air horns, screaming phones, $2,000 suits, strippers in conference rooms. Top performers got Rolex watches thrown at them across the office floor. Underperformers were publicly humiliated and gone by noon. The drug use wasn't recreational anymore. It was operational. Quaaludes to slow down, cocaine to speed back up, brokers passing out mid-call. One had a seizure on the sales floor. And Jordan? He was buying helicopters, naming yachts after his wife, crashing Ferraris with his 3-year-old daughter in the passenger seat while high on ludes. He was untouchable, or so he believed. Here's what Stratton was actually doing, and why it was genius-level fraud. Step 1. Buy massive blocks of penny stock. Cheap, unknown companies. Before anyone knows that they exist. Step 2. Turn 100 salespeople into a hype machine. Call after call. Manufactured urgency. Fake projections. Step 3. The stock spikes as retail investors pile in. Teachers, veterans, retirees. Step 4. Dump everything at the peak. Step 5. The stock crashes. Jordan and his team walk away with millions. The investors? They're left holding worthless paper. At Stratton, this wasn't called fraud. It was called Tuesday. By 1994, the FBI was watching. Agent Gregory Coleman didn't need a smoking gun. He needed a pattern. And the pattern was everywhere. Cash withdrawals structured to avoid reporting thresholds. Real estate that didn't match declared income. Money moving through shell companies, offshore accounts, even a housekeeper smuggling cash sewn into her bra. Then the yacht. 1. Mediterranean Sea. Jordan, drunk and high, ignores the captain's storm warning and orders the crew to sail. The Naomi, his $1.5 million yacht, starts taking on water. On board, his wife, his daughter, and over $2 million in jewelry and narcotics. They were rescued by the Italian Navy. The yacht sank, but Jordan came back. Back in New York, brokers were flipping. One got caught on a separate charge, another was owed an unpaid bonus. They wore wires, they turned over folders. October 1996, federal agents raided Stratton, Oakmont. Phones ripped from desks, hard drives copied. Someone tried to flush documents. And in early 1997, while under active investigation, explicitly told not to move money, Jordan wired $2 million to Switzerland. That single transfer was recorded. Game over. Facing 30 years, Jordan Belfort did the one thing he was always best at. He sold. Not stocks this time. People. He flipped, cooperated with the FBI, wore a wire, and handed over 30 plus of his closest partners, friends, and employees, some of whom had joined Stratton straight out of high school. Some served more time than he did. Jordan, 22 months, minimum security, no fences, no cells. He played tennis in the morning, lifted weights in the afternoon, and at night. He wrote. 1. The Wolf of Wall Street hits bookstores. No apologies, no remorse, just a 500-page victory lap. Piermes Martin Scorsese, Leonardo DiCaprio, global blockbuster. The man who robbed working Americans was now being cheered at in movie theaters. He sold the rights. He sold a sequel. He launched a speaking career. Today, Jordan Belfort charges $30,000 to $100,000 per speaking engagement. Teaching sales ethics. Yes, you read that correctly. The court ordered $110 million in restitution. The teacher who lost her retirement savings, still waiting. The veteran who invested his life savings, still waiting. The family that remortgaged their home, still waiting. Only a fraction has ever been paid. Jordan once said, "I was guilty of being greedy, but so is everybody else. And maybe that's why we let him get away with it. Because we didn't want him punished. We wanted to be him." The scariest con Jordan Belfort ever ran wasn't on his investors. It was on all of us. If this story made you uncomfortable, good. That discomfort is the only thing standing between you and the next Jordan Belfort who calls you with the opportunity of a lifetime. Subscribe, because next week we're going into another story Wall Street doesn't want you to know.